All right, so rhombus. What makes something a rhombus? Go ahead, anybody? 4 equal sides. Great. All right. So let's say I draw a rhombus here. Best I can. All right, definitely a rhombus. Now, first of all, a rhombus would also fall into what category of shape? Quadrilateral. What else? Parallelogram. How do we find area of a parallelogram? Base times height. So if you're given the base and you're given the height, just take base times height and you got your answer, right? Okay, that works. Sometimes you won't be given the base and the height. Okay? Sometimes they're going to take that rhombus and they're going to draw some diagonals in that rhombus. Okay? They're going to draw some diagonals like that. Okay? Those diagonals are perpendicular. Okay? Those diagonals are perpendicular to each other, making 90-degree angles. And they're going to give you the lengths of those diagonals. Okay? They might say this whole thing is 20. So in that case, you know you got 10 and 10, right? Okay? And they might say this whole thing is 14. Well, if this whole thing is 14, then what do we got? 7 and 7 there. Okay? So if they give you the diagonals, it might be helpful to just kind of break it up into little parts like that, okay? And then to be completely honest, how I'm going to find the area of that rhombus is just find the area of one of the sides of it, or half of it, and double it, okay? Because if you look, isn't that rhombus just split up into triangles? Mm-hmm. So instead of memorizing a new formula, another formula, okay, why don't we just use our triangle formulas to help us find the area of that rhombus? Okay. Let's say I want to find the area of just this top part right up here. Okay, this whole top part. Okay. How long is the base?
10.
The whole thing. 20. What's the height? 7. So I take 20 times 7 and I divide by 2 because it's a triangle. 20 times 7 is $140. $140 divided by 2 would be 70 there. Okay. But that's not the area of the rhombus because we've only found area of what fraction of it? Half of it. So what do I need to do with 70 now? Double it, multiply it by 2 times 2 because there's 2 triangles in there. So you get 140 units squared. Some of you might say, well then how about I just do 20 times 7 and not divide by 2 because I was at 140? Well, if you remember that, that can definitely work, okay? But I wanted to work through it, finding the area of one triangle, multiplying it by 2 because there's 2 triangles to get the total area. Okay? Would it have mattered if I would have picked this triangle over here to find the area of that first and then multiply that answer by 2? Would that have been fine?
No.
No? Why not?
Because you don't have
Because you don't have that 7 or you don't have that.
20. You don't have the 20.
Yeah.
10 times. You have to know.
It should be 10 times 7.
So how far is this?
14.
14. What is this?
10.
Or 10.
So 14 times 10 is 140. Cut it in half is 70. Right? So the area of this right here would also be 70, but isn't this 70 over here too?
Yeah.
So would it still work? Yeah. On a rhombus, aren't all 4 of these triangles going to be the same anyway?
Yeah.
On a rhombus, absolutely, yes they are. Okay? So what I would do, when I'm doing the area of a rhombus, I just break it up into triangles, use our triangle formula to find the area of the whole thing. Questions? Yes, no? What do you guys think about that? Like it? Simple? Let me show you the book's way of doing it. So if you are one that reads the book, okay? They actually use a formula with the diagonals in it. Okay? So let's call that one D1. And this one we'll call diagonal 2. Alright? And they're perpendicular, so they make a 90-degree angle right there. Alright, I'll do my best here. Bear with my drawing. What shape is the green?
Rectangle.
Rectangle, right? This diagonal right here, would you say it matches the base of the rectangle?
Yeah.
This diagonal right here, would you say it matches the height of the rectangle?
Yeah.
So if I multiply this diagonal times this diagonal, wouldn't that give me the area of the whole rectangle?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I'm doing base times height, right?
Yes.
20 times 14 is
So if I would do the base, or if I would take this diagonal times this diagonal, that would give me the area of the entire rectangle. If I only wanted the area of the original rhombus, though, what would I have to do with that answer?
Divide by 2.
Divide by 2, because the rhombus is exactly half of that green rectangle. Do you see how this triangle right here would match the triangle right out here that's not inside the rhombus? These two match, these two match, these two match, so the rhombus is exactly half of the rectangle. So if I took diagonal 1 times diagonal 2, that would give me the area of the whole rectangle. Cut that in half, and now you have your answer, the area of the rhombus. Okay? So you'll see in your textbook, it's going to say area equals 1/2 times diagonal 1 times diagonal 2. And some of you might be thinking, well, that's easy and quick. I agree. It is absolutely easy and quick and very simple to do. Okay? How many formulas can your brain hold? Okay? Some of you, a lot. Some of you, maybe not as many. Okay? There will be some formulas that you will just flat out have to memorize later on, as far as lateral area of cones and things like that, that there's no really way of breaking it down into other things. So your brain has to be able to store a lot of formulas. So I try to show you ways of getting around memorizing a ton of formulas. Can you use this every time for a rhombus or a kite? Yes, you can. But if you don't want to, you can always break it down into those triangles. Yes? No? Okay? Questions? Skylar, you had a hand up. Did I answer it?
Yeah.
Okay? Awesome. That was a rhombus. Kite. 57. Slow me down if you need to, guys. Okay? I'm trying to fly here because I want to get it done here. Rhombus slash kite. And the reason I can do that is because we do it the exact same way. Okay? Exactly the same way. Kite. Unfortunately, the kite is not a parallelogram, so you'll never be able to do base times height for a kite. Okay? You will usually be given the diagonals. You will usually be given the diagonals of a kite.
and then make the rectangle.
Okay? Now, we could use this formula again, exactly. Because if I were to draw a rectangle, just like that, okay, even with the sound effects, okay? If I were to draw that rectangle, wouldn't the kite make up exactly half of that rectangle again?
Yes.
Okay, so you can use that formula again. I'm pretty certain, out of all my years of high school and college, I probably never used that formula. I still always broke it down into triangles, okay? What I would do, like let's say, I don't know, 8, 8, 6, 12, okay? Those won't be the same, everybody understand that now, right? It's a kite, not a rhombus, okay? If I knew those amounts right there, okay, what I probably would have done is I would have found, okay, I would have found the area of this part of it right over here and done what with that answer? Multiply by 2 or double it, because the area of this part of it is exactly half of the area of the whole thing, because this triangle over here on the other side is identical to that triangle. Okay? So I would have found the area of that triangle and doubled it. Well, let's find the area of that triangle. How long is the base right here?
18.
18. What is my height?
8.
8. So I got 18 times 8. Divide that by 2. It's like 18 times 4 would be 72. Okay? Right? Yes? No?
I don't know.
Maybe still in summer mode. No, I think I'm okay.
144.
Okay. 72 is the area of the red one here.
Multiply it by 2.
Got to double it. So $1.44. Okay. 144 units squared. Okay. That's if I were breaking it down into triangles and then doubling it or figuring out how many triangles there are. You got to be a little careful on a kite. Okay. You got to know which triangle to double. What if somebody decided to find the area of this top part and then double it? Would that work? No, why not? Triangles aren't the same. The ones on the bottom are different than the ones on the top when you got a kite. So you can't do it that way. You got to do it the long way to split it down, find the area of that half, and then double it. Okay? If a person wanted to, could they find the area of all 4 of these triangles and add them together?
Yeah.
Sure, might be a little bit of a longer way to do it, but it would still work. Okay? Now, I'll prove to you that still works though too. Alright? How long is this diagonal? 18. How long is that diagonal?
16.
16. Let's try the formula out. Area equals 1/2 times 16 times 18. Okay? 144. And so again, some of you are thinking, well, that's really quick and easy. Yes, it is. And if you remember it, great. Awesome. You can use it for every kite, for every rhombus. Okay? Again, I'm just trying to save from you having to memorize 25 formulas. Okay? But if you are good at memorizing that many, go for it. Questions on rhombus or kite? Okay? Your homework is right here. Page 723. Nope, sorry, that was yesterday. Page 733. Page 733. 7 through 12. 18, 21, 24. Page 733. 7 through 12, 18, 21, 24. Finally showing up here. Okay? Please get that done over the weekend. If you have any homework and would like to turn it into the blue folder, please feel free to do so.
Okay. What's that?